Have you ever noticed how people seem to crave your attention the most when you no longer offer it? It's as if the very act of pulling away flips a switch in their minds. They realize, often too late, that you were a constant, a source of comfort, and now you're gone. What is it about absence that makes the heart and the mind suddenly long for what was once overlooked? This paradox lies at the center of human relationships and holds the key to understanding our deeper value. Today we'll dive into 9 undeniable proofs that show why they only want you when you no longer want them. This isn't a game or a manipulative strategy. It's a powerful exploration of self-worth, independence, and the Stoic understanding of human behavior. Each proof we uncover will not only offer insights into their changing desires, but will also reveal how embracing these lessons can transform your own life. Stick around because the most profound truth, the fear that drives them to crave you, awaits at the end. Let's unravel this together. 1. The pain of regret. Regret is a sharp and lingering teacher, isn't it? It creeps in when we least expect it, often in the quiet moments when the noise of life fades. This is when people start to realize what they've lost. When you've been a dependable presence in their life, offering support, care, and love, they may take you for granted. But once you step back, they're left with a void, and that void is where regret begins to grow. Think about it. How many times have you looked back on a decision and wished you could rewrite it? Now imagine someone else doing the same about you. The pain of regret forces them to replay moments in their mind, moments where they could have shown more appreciation or treated you with the respect you deserved. But now those opportunities are gone. Why does regret hit so hard? It's because it forces people to confront their own flaws. They realize they were too comfortable, too blind to the value you brought into their lives. As Stoicism teaches, it's not the events themselves that cause suffering, but our judgment of them. Their regret is not your burden to carry. It's a reflection of their own choices. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." In other words, the power of regret lies entirely in their hands. Your absence gives them the chance to learn from their mistakes, but whether they do is not within your control. What about you? Have you ever stepped back and watched someone realize too late what they lost? Did their regret change how you viewed them, or did it only reinforce the decision to move on? These questions remind us of a fundamental truth. Your worth does not increase because someone finally sees it. It was always there. Regret is their teacher, and in your absence it becomes their constant companion. But your journey doesn't end here. Regret is only the beginning of what they feel when you step away. Next, we'll explore the deeper fear that solidifies their longing for you. 2. The fear of finality. There's a unique kind of panic that sets in when people realize something might be gone for good. This is the fear of finality, the gut-wrenching thought that they've lost their chance to fix things, to reconnect, to hold on to what once seemed secure. It's in this moment of realization that they start to feel the full weight of their decisions, or lack thereof. When you finally decide to move on and focus on your growth, it's not just your absence they feel, it's the permanence of that absence. They begin to understand that the door they once left ajar is now closing. Human nature often resists change, especially the kind that leaves us powerless to undo our mistakes. The thought of a final ending brings clarity, but it also brings fear. Why does the fear of finality have such a powerful grip? Because it's tied to one of our most primal instincts, the desire to avoid loss. While regret looks backward at what was, the fear of finality forces them to confront what could never be again. It whispers to them that time is running out, that they may never have another chance to make things right. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Their thoughts, now soaked in fear and anxiety, begin to shape their reality. They replay the moments you shared, not just with regret, but with a desperate hope to reclaim what feels like slipping away. Consider this. Have you ever experienced someone suddenly trying to win you back, not because they've changed, but because they fear losing you forever? Their panic often has less to do with genuine reflection and more to do with their inability to cope with finality. This is where Stoicism offers clarity. You can't control their reaction, you can only control your response. By choosing to stand firm in your decision to move forward, you assert your power and self-respect. Here's the truth. Your life doesn't pause for those who fail to see your worth. Their fear of finality is their battle, not yours. If they come running back, it's important to ask yourself, are they drawn to you or merely fleeing their own fear? The distinction is critical. At this point, you might be wondering, should you ever give someone another chance? That's a deeply personal decision. But remember, your growth and peace should never be compromised by someone else's inability to face their fears. If this resonates with you, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you witnessed this fear in action? Let us know how you handled it. And if you're finding value in this reflection, don't forget to like the video. It helps us reach others on their journey of self-discovery. Up next, we'll explore how absence itself becomes a tool for understanding your worth. The next proof reveals why stepping back is more than just a retreat. It's a declaration of your value. Stay tuned. 3. The power of absence. Absence is a curious thing. It's silent yet profound, invisible yet unmistakable. When you remove yourself from someone's life, your absence speaks louder than any words could. It creates a void, a space where your presence once resided, and forces them to confront a simple but powerful truth. They miss you. But why does absence wield such power? It's because we often take for granted what is readily available. When you're always there, texting, calling, supporting, they begin to see your presence as constant, like air or water. Essential, yes, but easily overlooked. Then one day you're no longer there. Suddenly they feel the weight of your absence, and the true value of your presence becomes clear. Have you ever been in a room where the Wi-Fi suddenly cuts out? You might not have thought twice about the connection when it was working, but the moment it's gone, it's all you can think about. That's the power of absence in action. In relationships, this dynamic plays out in similar ways. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you decide to step back, you're not merely reacting to being underappreciated, you're asserting your worth. You're signaling, without confrontation, that your presence is a privilege, not a given. Absence does more than make the heart grow fonder, it sharpens the mind. When you step away, you give them the time and space to reflect on what you brought into their life. Your laughter, your support, your unique energy. They start to see the gap your departure has left, and that gap can be profound. But here's the question. How do you use the power of absence without turning it into a game? This is where Stoicism comes in. Absence is not about manipulation, it's about self-respect. You're not stepping back to provoke a reaction, you're stepping back to focus on yourself, your growth, and your peace. Whether or not they realize your worth is secondary to the fact that you've chosen to value yourself. Absence also acts as a mirror. It reflects not only your value but also their priorities. If they truly valued you, your absence will prompt them to reconsider their actions. If not, their indifference will reveal where you stand in their life, and that knowledge, though painful, is a gift. Think of a time when you withdrew your presence from someone who didn't appreciate it. How did they respond? Did they reach out, acknowledging your worth, or did their silence confirm what you suspected all along? Share your experience in the comments, it might help others going through similar situations. Now let's move forward. Absence sets the stage, but there's another factor at play that magnifies your worth in their eyes. Up next, we'll delve into how rarity transforms ordinary interactions into extraordinary ones. Don't go anywhere. This is where the dynamic shifts in your favor. 4. The Rarity Effect. We are naturally drawn to what is rare. It's a quirk of human nature. When something becomes less accessible, its value skyrockets in our eyes. This is the rarity effect at work, and it plays a pivotal role in why they only want you when you no longer want them. Think about it. When you were always available, your attention was easy to come by. They grew accustomed to it, perhaps even took it for granted. But once you pull back, your presence transforms from something ordinary into something rare and desirable. Suddenly, you're no longer a common fixture in their life, but a treasure they fear losing. The rarity effect operates on a simple principle. Scarcity increases value. It's the same reason people clamor for limited edition products or rare collectibles. When supply dwindles, demand surges. Your time and attention are no different. By stepping back and prioritizing your growth, you make it clear that your energy is not an endless resource to be exploited, but a rare gift to be earned. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When you start valuing your time, others begin to value it too. They see that your focus is no longer on them, but on your own well-being. And this shift forces them to reassess your importance in their life. Have you ever noticed how people tend to chase what they can't easily have? It's like the last slice of pizza at a party. Nobody seemed to want it until it was almost gone. Then, suddenly, it's the most coveted item in the room. Your presence works the same way. When you're readily available, it's easy for others to assume you'll always be there. But when you withdraw, your value becomes strikingly clear. This shift isn't about playing games, it's about recognizing your worth and ensuring that others recognize it too. It's not about becoming cold or distant, but about being selective with your energy. You're showing them that your time is precious and should not be taken lightly. Let me ask you, how often do you find yourself giving too much of your time and attention without receiving the same in return? And what happens when you stop? Reflect on those moments. Did they suddenly start to appreciate you more? Share your thoughts in the comments. It might inspire someone who's still learning to reclaim their time. Here's the beauty of the Rarity Effect. It doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. When you embrace your own value, you stop wasting your time on those who don't appreciate it. And in doing so, you attract people who genuinely respect and cherish your presence. Up next, we'll explore how independence, one of the most powerful Stoic virtues, not only elevates your self-worth but also makes you incredibly magnetic. Stay tuned, because this is where the transformation becomes undeniable. 5. The Allure of Independence. Independence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. It signals confidence, self-reliance, and the ability to thrive without leaning on others for validation. When you embrace independence, you shift the focus of your energy inward, and that shift is magnetic. Suddenly, the same people who once overlooked you find themselves drawn to your newfound strength. Why does independence hold such power? The answer lies in human psychology. People are naturally attracted to those who exude self-assurance. Independence shows that you're complete as you are, that your happiness, growth, and fulfillment don't depend on anyone else. This creates a sense of intrigue and admiration. When you stop waiting for others to validate your worth, you become a force to be reckoned with. Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." Independence allows you to cultivate that inner harmony. By focusing on your own journey, you demonstrate that you're not seeking someone to complete you, you're already whole. This self-reliance is a cornerstone of Stoicism and one of the most empowering mindsets you can adopt. Have you noticed how people seem to gravitate toward those who are genuinely content with themselves? It's no coincidence. Independence radiates a quiet confidence that draws others in. When you're no longer chasing anyone's approval, you become someone worth chasing. They see you thriving, pursuing your passions, and enjoying life on your own terms. And that's when the tables turn. Here's a question for you. What happens when you stop making someone the center of your world? Do they start to notice your absence? Do they feel a shift in the dynamics? Independence isn't about pushing people away. It's about prioritizing yourself. When you focus on your goals and personal growth, you naturally create space for people who truly value you to step in. Let's bring this idea back to your own life. Have you ever experienced a time when you stopped seeking someone's attention, only for them to suddenly start seeking yours? What changed when you began prioritizing your own well-being? Share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear how embracing independence transformed your relationships. And if you're finding value in this exploration of Stoicism and personal growth, don't forget to like this video. It's a simple way to support our community and help more people discover these empowering insights. As we continue, we'll see how independence doesn't just make you more attractive, it also transforms your relationships by shifting the balance of power. Up next, we'll dive into how this shift changes everything. Stay with us, because the best is yet to come. 6. The shift in dynamics. Power dynamics are an inevitable part of any relationship. When you've been the one putting in all the effort, texting first, making plans, constantly showing up, it creates a dynamic where the other person feels in control. But what happens when you stop? When you pull back and prioritize your own well-being, the entire balance shifts, and suddenly, they're the ones wondering where they stand with you. This shift in dynamics is profound. It's as if the rules of the game have changed, and they're no longer sure how to play. The very act of stepping back forces them to confront a new reality. You're no longer chasing them, and that changes how they perceive you. Why does this happen? Because uncertainty is powerful. When you were always available, they knew exactly where they stood. Your predictability gave them a sense of control. But now, by reclaiming your energy and focusing on your growth, you've introduced an element of mystery. They're left questioning your feelings, your thoughts, and most importantly, your availability. As Seneca said, it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. By taking control of your actions and reactions, you become an unconquerable force. You're no longer playing by their rules. Instead, you're setting the terms of your own life. This shift not only empowers you but also compels them to reevaluate their behavior. Have you ever noticed how people respond when you stop giving them your full attention? It's like they're suddenly more interested, more attentive, more eager to be part of your world. This is the shift in dynamics at work. By no longer making them the center of your focus, you inadvertently create a space where they feel the need to step up and fill the gap. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. In your relationships, who has been doing most of the work? Have you found yourself constantly giving while receiving little in return? If so, how did things change when you decided to pull back? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to reclaim their power. This shift in dynamics isn't about playing games or manipulating others. It's about balance. Relationships should be a two-way street with mutual effort and respect. When you stop overextending yourself, you give the other person the opportunity to meet you halfway or not at all. And either outcome is a win because you're no longer settling for less than you deserve. Next, we'll explore how confidence, born from this shift in dynamics, amplifies your attractiveness and transforms how others perceive you. It's not just about the balance of power, it's about the radiant strength that comes with embracing your own worth. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the transformative power of confidence. 7. The contrast of confidence. Confidence has a way of changing everything. When you stop seeking validation from others and instead focus on building your inner strength, you begin to radiate a self-assuredness that's impossible to ignore. This contrast between who you were when you wanted them and who you've become now that you don't creates a powerful shift in their perception. They start to see you in a new light, one that highlights your independence, resilience, and undeniable worth. Why is confidence so magnetic? It's simple. Confidence reflects a deep sense of self-awareness and contentment. When you're confident, you send a clear message to the world. You know your value, and you're not afraid to stand alone. This kind of inner peace is rare, and as we've discussed, rarity is deeply attractive. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you stop reacting to their indifference with insecurity or neediness and instead respond with calm self-assurance, it forces them to reconsider their own behavior. They see that you're no longer affected by their actions in the same way, and this newfound composure makes them take notice. Have you ever been around someone who exudes quiet confidence? They don't seek attention or approval, yet their presence commands respect and admiration. That's the power you tap into when you embrace your self-worth. As you grow in confidence, you not only become more attractive but also more selective about who you allow into your life. This shift is both empowering and transformative. Let me ask you, how has your confidence evolved in relationships? Have you noticed a change in how people treat you when you carry yourself with self-assurance? Reflect on those moments and share your thoughts in the comments. Your journey could serve as a guiding light for others seeking to build their confidence. Here's the beauty of confidence. It's contagious. The more you cultivate it, the more it shapes your interactions and relationships. People are drawn to those who know their worth and aren't afraid to prioritize their own happiness. And here's the best part. Your confidence doesn't just attract others. It also empowers you to live authentically, free from the need for external validation. Next, we'll explore how the pain of regret intensifies when they realize the confident, thriving version of you is no longer within their reach. Stay with us, because this is where the emotional impact deepens, and the true power of your growth becomes undeniable. 8. The pain of regret. Regret is one of the most potent emotions humans experience. It lingers in the quiet moments, resurfaces unexpectedly, and can profoundly shape the way we view our past. When someone realizes they've lost you, truly lost you, it's not just a fleeting disappointment. It's a deep, aching regret that settles in, forcing them to confront the reality of their choices. This regret doesn't emerge all at once. At first, they may shrug off your absence, thinking it's temporary, or that they can easily regain your attention. But as time passes and they witness your growth and independence, the weight of their loss begins to sink in. They start to replay moments in their mind, times when they dismissed your efforts, ignored your needs, or failed to appreciate your presence. Each memory becomes a painful reminder of what they had and foolishly let slip away. Why does regret hit so hard? Because it reveals missed opportunities and unspoken truths. It forces them to acknowledge that they took you for granted, assuming you'd always be there. Regret is their mind's way of processing the loss of something valuable, something they can't easily replace. It's like trying to turn back time, only to realize that the clock doesn't rewind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In this context, your absence becomes the very obstacle that propels their self-reflection. They must face the consequences of their behavior and come to terms with the fact that they may never have another chance with you. Regret forces them to see the truth, that your value was always there, but they were too blind or complacent to recognize it. Have you ever felt the sting of regret yourself? Perhaps in a different context, a missed opportunity, an unspoken word, or a decision you wish you could change. Now imagine someone experiencing that same feeling about you, only amplified because they know they had something extraordinary and failed to cherish it. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Let's dive deeper into how regret manifests. It often starts with small reminders. They might hear a song that reminds them of you or stumble upon an old photo. These triggers, though seemingly insignificant, open the floodgates of memory. What follows is a cascade of realizations: how you were there for them, how you made them feel, and how much they took your kindness and presence for granted. This process isn't just about nostalgia, it's about reckoning. Regret has a way of stripping away the ego, exposing vulnerabilities and truths they may have been avoiding. It makes them question their past actions and decisions, and often it leads to an overwhelming desire to make things right. But here's the hard truth. By the time regret fully sets in, it's often too late. You've moved on, grown stronger, and created a life that no longer revolves around them. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. Their regret is not your burden to carry. It's a reflection of their own shortcomings and a consequence of their inability to value you when they had the chance. As Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your decision to move forward marks the end of their comfort and the beginning of their reckoning. Now, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever been the source of someone's regret? How did it feel when they tried to come back, driven by the weight of their realizations? Did their regret change your perspective, or did it reaffirm your decision to move on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences could provide valuable insight for others navigating similar situations. Regret is a powerful motivator, but it's not the end of the story. Next, we'll explore an equally potent force that keeps them tethered to you: the allure of mystery and uncertainty. This dynamic not only deepens their longing but also amplifies their desire to reconnect. Stay with us as we uncover how uncertainty becomes a tool for reclaiming your power. 9. The mystery of uncertainty. Uncertainty has a way of captivating the human mind. When people can't predict your next move or understand your thoughts, they're drawn in, compelled to solve the puzzle. This is the mystery of uncertainty, and it plays a crucial role in why they start wanting you more when you no longer want them. When you were always present, answering their texts promptly, always initiating plans, they knew exactly where they stood with you. There was no mystery, no element of surprise. But when you step back and focus on yourself, you introduce a level of unpredictability that throws them off balance. Suddenly, they can't quite figure you out, and this drives their curiosity and longing. Why is mystery so effective? Because the human mind craves clarity and closure. When they no longer know what you're thinking or feeling, they start to overanalyze. They question their assumptions and replay past interactions, trying to decipher where things shifted. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. By creating space for uncertainty, you reclaim power over the narrative of your relationship. This uncertainty is not about playing games, but about prioritizing your own well-being. You're no longer an open book, readily available for their convenience. Instead, you're focusing on your growth, and that independence leaves them questioning their place in your life. They may wonder, are they moving on? Are they seeing someone else? Have I completely lost my chance? Think about it. Have you ever noticed how someone becomes more interested when you stop sharing every detail of your life? It's not because you're intentionally keeping secrets, but because your silence speaks volumes. It signals that you're not seeking their validation, and that shift in dynamics makes them crave your attention even more. Let's consider the role of social media in this equation. Perhaps you've posted less frequently, or when you do, it's about your personal achievements, hobbies, or time spent with others. Each post or lack thereof leaves them guessing. They're no longer privy to your every thought, and that gap fuels their imagination. The uncertainty becomes a catalyst for their desire as they start to fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. Here's a question. Have you ever deliberately created space in a relationship and noticed how the other person reacted? Did their curiosity grow? Did they start reaching out more frequently, asking questions they never bothered to ask before? Share your experiences in the comments. Your insights might resonate with someone navigating a similar journey. The beauty of uncertainty lies in its ability to shift the focus back to you. When you stop being so readily available, you remind yourself of your own value. You're no longer seeking their approval or validation. Instead, you're allowing them to come to terms with the space you've created. This aligns with a key Stoic principle: to detach from what you cannot control and focus on your own path. Uncertainty is not about withholding who you are, but about allowing others to recognize that access to your time and energy is a privilege, not a given. It forces them to reflect on their own actions and consider what they're willing to do to regain a connection with you. We've journeyed through 9 powerful truths that reveal why they only want you when you no longer want them. Each proof, whether it's the pain of regret, the allure of your independence, or the fear of finality, underscores a fundamental principle. Your worth is not determined by others, but by your own recognition of it. As you step back, focus on your growth, and embrace your inner power, you naturally shift the dynamics in your relationships. You're no longer seeking validation, and in doing so, you become someone they can't ignore. This isn't about manipulation, it's about living authentically and understanding the deep value of self-respect and personal growth. Now, it's your turn. What resonated with you most from these 9 truths? Have you experienced similar shifts in your own relationships? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if this video provided you with valuable insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these Stoic reflections. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Remember, your growth is your greatest asset, and the right people will see your worth without you having to remind them. Stay strong, stay focused, and may your path forward be filled with clarity and peace.